Hi everyone, my name is Tiffany. Welcome back, or welcome if you've never been here before. Today I'm sharing all of the books that I want to read in September. This month is going to be a busy one for me. I am going to Wanderlust in San Antonio and I'm so excited. It'll be my first signing. I cannot wait to meet the authors that I love so much and to see my bookish friends. Like, come on, I am ready. I'm currently trying to get ready for the Book Bonanza tickets that are dropping soon as well, trying to strategize, figure out which computers I'm going to be using. I will be one of those people clogging up the works with multiple screens open. I'm not sorry about it. So I usually like to start with my book club reads. I have some Patreon picks that I'm going to add to the mix. So let's start with those. First, the September pick for Jen's Patreon is The High Mountain Court by A.K. Mulford. This is a fantasy romance where the heroine is a red witch, and I guess that means that she's the last of her kind within this world because one of the kings, this is a full-fledged fantasy with fae and magical creatures, and I believe that she's being hunted and eradicated, and the hero of this book is a prince that's aiming to not claim the same fate as her people. And so I don't know if they're going to team up, but I'm excited to read this. I want to read it along with her. She usually does like an exclusive review, so I want to read it this time. Looking forward to it. Next, I have Riley Marie's Patreon pick, and I feel like I joined right on time because we're reading A Heart of Blood and Ashes, and I absolutely love this romance. Yevonne is one of my favorite heroines. She is so fierce in mind and in spirit, and she wields that power, especially while she's dealing with her very abusive father, and it is her father that Maddox believes is responsible for his parents' death. So they both are out for revenge, yet Maddox is very slow to trust. And so I absolutely love this. No, that's a lie. I was going to say I haven't done a reread. I have done a reread and I have read certain scenes within this, but it'll be nice to do one again because I don't think that reread has been within the last year. I've just been reading scenes. So I'm excited to get into it and go back. Oh my gosh. I am highly anticipating the third book in that series. Whenever it comes, I'm going to be ready. Next, for the Recreation Society, we're reading Surrender by Amanda Quick. And this is going to be my first Amanda Quick. I believe this is about a heroine that is hell-bent on thwarting the fortune hunter. She's not at all interested in entertaining them until, a newly minted Earl steps into the mix and starts courting her. And so I know that she has a secret, which I hope leads to a mystery element. I also am anticipating there to be some conflict centered around his intentions because the way that the synopsis describes him, it's like he's Don Juan riding in like Zorro out of nowhere. So I'm really interested in this. I'm happy that we're reading it for book club because I don't think I would have picked up Amanda Quick on my own. So I hope she's a new to me author. Next, I know that I'm trying to think on top of my head, I always do this and try to be cool, but I think I got it. For the Cover to Cover book club run by Tori from Novel Life and Sam from Sam Reads a Little, we are going to be reading Pen Pal by J.T Geissinger. Now, I know going in that this isn't a romance, and I have to be honest, I never thought it was going to be. I was a guest on Jen's channel for one of her author hangouts where JT was that author, and when she talked about this book, she was very clear about it being unconventional. All of the books that she recommended were thrillers, and so I was expecting Pen Pal to be her passion book, and the only thing I'm surprised at is how she chose to market it, and subsequently backpedal, rebrand, and be silent. However, I'm still looking forward to reading this book. I was going to save it till October because I heard about the paranormal element, and I'm no going in that it isn't a romance. However, I do think that Jen has an interesting take on that in her reading vlog that's dedicated to this. So nonetheless, I'm excited to read it and be able to discuss it in book club. That's my favorite part about it. Talking in the freaking comment section and just hearing how everybody else interprets something. So after that, I got Smut Club, run by Cheyenne, that tall book girl, and McKay from Oh Hey It's McKay. We're reading Lola in the Millionaires. Now, this is not my first Kathryn Moon. I know that this is reverse harem Omegaverse. Also, that there are trigger warnings for, I believe, like sexual assault because of the heroine's backstory. That's what I remembered, because when this was going around, I didn't read it. So, I mean, now is the time. I also think that this is going to be smutty enough for Smut Club. Kathryn Moon does that very well, okay? Also, let's see, for the SJM Along, we're reading Akeroyd. I love how I've gotten like used to looking up here because I know editing me is looking for that prompt to throw up the book. Anyway, I'm sorry. Court of Rings and Ruin. I'm so excited about reading this. I'm going to be reading it physically and listening to as much of the graphic audio as I can because I believe that the second part isn't out yet. And I know that the live show is going to be October 1st and it's going to be on Jen's channel. I just feel like I need to get into formation when it comes to this SJM Along, okay? I'm in tow when it comes to, you know, Akatar, but with the Throne of Glass series, I am so behind. I think that's because the chunky tomes I dedicate to certain tasks, like Between Wrath and Mercy by Jess Weisskopf. That's my bath time book, okay? And so the Throne of Glass series, I'm just listening to the audiobooks when I'm doing tasks where I feel like I need to wrestle the joy out of it, cleaning my apartment, doing laundry. However, that's just not going to suffice. I feel like I need to dedicate a couple of days and just binge these. But I'm excited. I'm excited to get back into Akeroyd and to listen to as much of the graphic audio as I can, okay? Because we are quickly passing the rate at which they are releasing those, and that's okay, okay? I'm still excited to get into it. I also plan on being a part of the Twisted and Taboo readathon. This is going to be hosted by Tori from Novel Life, Sam from Sam Reads a Little, McKay from Oh Hey It's McKay, Cheyenne, that tall book girl, and Jess from Peace Love Books. The dates are the 16th through the 19th, and I will be in San Antonio. In fact, the book signing is on the 16th, so I plan on catching the tail end of this on my way home. I'm sure I can get something in the airport on the 17th, okay? I don't have a dedicated TBR for this, but a lot of the books that I'm about to share with you are going to fill the prompts that they have. Bully, Stalker, okay, Captor Captive, Mafia. The only one I don't have is Motorcycle, so I'm sure I can just wedge something in. But I'm very excited to participate in that as well. Now, outside of the new releases, a recently released book has caught my eye, and I'm absolutely going to read it this month, and that is The Madhouse by Liza James. Let me check the author to make sure I'm getting that right. Yes, this is a dark, sapphic step sibling romance, okay? And those were like big words to me, but I was warned that this is dark. There are trigger warnings for sexual assault, child abuse, derogatory language when it comes to homophobia, and the way that they were raised was traumatic. And so I know going in that one of them left home and the other was resentful for being left behind. Somehow they are reunited, and it goes through their storied past. I also know that this is a slow burn and that there's a bit of knife play. So I'm very intrigued. I heard that the writing is absolutely compelling, so I have to pick this up. Also on the 1st, I am very excited about His Muse by Cassie Mint. This is going to be the first in a new series for her, And all I know is that it's a stalker romance, okay? The heroine is like a merch girl, and the hero is a songwriter for the band, okay? So I'm excited for another Cassie Bit series. I'm calling it the Hot Girl Summer series because I can't remember it, but like, I had fun with that. Okay, thanks to Samantha for Books with Samantha. So, also on September 1st, The Dating Disaster by Saxon James comes out. This is going to be an MM roommate romance, okay? And I believe that the heroes had a horrible date that's turned them into enemies. And I always love forced proximity, okay? The versatility. I have said this before and I'm not going to go on a rant. I won't do it. But I love forced proximity and I'm excited about this one. I also think that Bittersweet by Helena Hunting comes out on the 1st. I'll check. Yes, it does. Okay. This is a one-night stand turns into a student-teacher dynamic where we're dealing with an age gap situation and a younger hero. Need I say more? I'm just excited, okay? I'm just excited. On September 2nd, Nicky and the Driver comes out by Kate C. Wells. This is a mafia arranged marriage that I hope reads like a captor captive because the hero has been obsessing over the heroine, okay, who's being forced to marry him, and she will now be in his clutches. I know this is going to be an age gap, and I loved Run Posey Run, so I'm hoping this does it for me as well. I really have my fingers crossed for this one. I'm excited about it. Next, on the 3rd, yes, King of Immortal Tithe by Ben Alderson. Now, I read the first in this series. This is supposed to be an MM Hades and Persephone retelling. And in the first, I really enjoyed how he recast vampiric lore. It's characterized as a disease, and there's not a lot of knowledge around it. So I'm interested in seeing how he revamps the elements of Hades and Persephone. I had to say vamps. I had to, you guys. I'm sorry. I'm such a geek. I was like, ooh, I thought, anyway, I'm sorry. Okay, moving on. One of the heroes in this book is a human, and I know that the other one is an elf, yet he's been cursed with the touch of death, yet our human hero is immune. So I'm intrigued. I am intrigued, and I want to continue on with this series. I hope that it hits. Next on my new release list, I have Seraph by Lily Mayne. This is the 6th in her Monstrous series that I am absolutely obsessed with. This is going to be Seraph in Lilac's book. And I'll say that in this world, there are varying degrees of sentient levels when it comes to our monsters. We're dealing with a post-apocalyptic world. All of these are MM. And Seraph is believed to be lower functioning, traumatized, and dangerous. He was rescued from being held captive by a very psychotic monster collector, and now he's being held at a raiders camp that's been featured throughout this series, and Lilac is guarding him. And I'm just interested in seeing how she is gonna get me into this, because as Jen has pointed out, you know, Seraph is the most monstrous looking of all of the monsters that we've encountered so far. So, I mean, I think she's gonna be able to do it. She always hits me with a swoony romance, and this theme is always fun because, you know, we have different genitalia. The mechanics are a joy to read. So, I'm expecting to love this. I'm just gonna ignore that hand. Anyway, next I have Hidden Truths by Neva. I don't think it's Neva. I think it's Neva Altaj. We're gonna go with that. This is her 3rd book within the series that I wanted to jump into after I read Broken Whispers, okay? Which I rated 5 stars. I am coming out with an August wrap-up and stats video. However, I will say that when I first met Sergei in Broken Whispers, I immediately wanted him to have a book, okay? Because he is a brilliant, neurotic psychopath and also insomniac with expertise in explosives and weaponry, and he does become a little unhinged when he hasn't slept or killed for a while. But he has a great sense of humor, so of course I latched on to him. It's just his brilliance, and then always that flaw, you know, of a warped mentality. And I think what got me was Sergei, because when he's introduced, at least to me, because I didn't read the first in this book, I read the second, because Tori was posting beautiful pictures and like I felt compelled. Oh my gosh. But and she was right. I mean, I absolutely loved that book. I'm going to talk about it in that video, but it was really good. Well, when Sergei's first introduced into this book, you know, he's going through it. He's cracked a little bit, but there's something about him that makes me feel like he's the type of psychopath where if you were to look into his eyes, you're not seeing the void, you know, that event horizon that sucks you in. It feels as though he's the type of psychopath that is privy to the running joke that nobody else ever sees, and I love that. Also, the heroine for this book was rescued from being trafficked, and that doesn't give anything away in terms of the plot points for Broken Whispers. But I did get to see Sergei's response to her. That was gentle, focused, protective. And I just feel like that's going to be a dainty and jagged-edged mashup that I need to read. I want it right now. Thankfully, it's coming out soon. I just have till the 3rd, which means the 2nd at midnight. So I'll be jumping into that as soon as I can. Next on this list, I have, oh my God, you guys. It doesn't come out on the 3rd. It comes out on the 22nd. No! Oh my God, I don't want to wait that long. Okay, we're barreling through it. It's fine. It's fine. It is fine. I have plenty to read. Like I said, I'm doing rereads this month. Okay, I'm doing 5-star prediction reads this month. I'm going to be hitting these new releases. I'm going to be fine. I'm going to be fine. I'm going to be fine. I'm going to be booked and busy until I can get into Sergei. It's okay. It's okay. Okay. On the 27th, How the Wallflower Was Won by Eva Leigh comes out. I enjoyed The Good Girl's Guide to Rakes, and in that book, their father did threaten to take away their inheritance if they didn't cease with the debauchery and get married. This time it is Finn's turn, yet he really isn't interested in anyone except for this bookish Wallflower, and she's in a position to entertain him because she's not at all interested in marriage, but she does want to join this very prestigious intellectual society of women and thinks that they won't allow her in unless she is married. So this is going to be in a marriage of convenience, and I'm here for it. Like, oh, I enjoyed the first book, and I'm ready for another strong heroine. I love that she's bookish and an intellectual. Okay, Ava. Next is going to be Brutal Intentions by Lilith Vincent. This is a mafia enemies to lovers. It is going to be a little taboo and very, very dark. Our hero is being forced to marry due to his reputation, okay? And he has his eyes on his new daughter-in-law. This is going to be an age gap. He's described as a very possessive alpha hole with a breeding kink. So we'll see how this turns out. I expect this to be dark and devious fun. Hopefully I thoroughly enjoy it. I enjoyed the pageant and Crowned, so I wasn't everyone's favorite at book club, but I enjoyed it, so I'm just going to continue going. I now know that, you know, Lilith Vincent is a pen name for Brianna Hill. I recently read Control Freak, so I'm going to keep moving with the Lilith Vincents, and this drops, I believe, on the 27th. Let me just look it up for you, because I'm sitting here, right? September 28th, and I'll be ready. Okay. Next, Obsessed by Serena Akeroyd drops on the 29th, and this is going to be a dark, taboo, bully romance, but with a student-teacher dynamic, obviously age gap, where the hero is obsessed with his student, and I believe he's stalking her. So I'm eager to see how far Serena takes this, okay? Ooh, and I really hope that she has a copy of it in San Antonio. I hope. Fingers crossed for that. Lastly, on this list, I have Losers by Harley LaRoe. This comes out on the 30th. And so I recently read The Dare. I am in formation. Okay, I know that we're dealing with a former Queen Bee prom queen, and she will be reunited with the 4 outsiders that really want to play and settle the score with her. But what has me itching itching to pick this book up is that in the synopsis, although this is going to be a reverse harem, big words like polyamorous are being used, okay? Also, the description of group sex, bisexuality. So I'm always looking for sword crossing in my reverse harems, and I hope that there are connections between the heroes as well. This could be it, because there aren't very many of them. So I'm like, come on, girl, give it to me. But it says in the synopsis, MF and MM sex scenes as well as group. Okay. And of course, we're going to get that BDSM. Like, after the dare, I'm not even going to be surprised if this hits. Like, it was delicious. It was devious fun. Anyway, so I'm very excited about my September. It is very ambitious. I hope I get to it all. I want to thank you for joining me. Please consider subscribing and sticking around, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.